Welcome to Dodgers Daily. I'm Casey Porter. Boy, getting walked off 3 times on the road trip already. That is tough to stomach. It was tough to stomach again last night. We have a lot to chew on with the Dodgers game and the road trip and where everything is at right now. In the system last night, it was a pretty good night. 3 of the 4 affiliates won. AAA Oklahoma City, AA Tulsa, and High A Great Lakes, they all won their games. And then Rancho Cucamonga had a little bit of a flat game yesterday after an extremely exciting game on Thursday night. So, hey, a lot of action to get to, but before we get into all that, just a reminder that we do have a Dodgers Daily GoFundMe account. So if you'd like to donate to Dodgers Daily, scroll down to the description, click the link, and go to the Dodgers Daily GoFundMe, and you can help Dodgers Daily by donating. Also, if you like this video and if you like this kind of content, click the like button, leave a comment, tell all your friends, interact with these videos as much as possible. Share them, tell everybody you know about Dodgers Daily. And I also turn on your notifications. Tell your friends to turn on their notifications. That way, every time Dodgers Daily releases a new video, you won't miss a thing. And Dodgers Daily can keep growing. Hey, thank you so much for all the interaction so far. Our community here at Dodgers Daily is fantastic. No doubt about it. Okay, so again, the Dodgers get walked off for the 3rd time in this road trip. Tough to stomach. The offense has been very good to this point in this year. 4 runs last night. Michael Grove, hey, not very good in his start right there. So your 4th and 5th spots in your rotation, very difficult situation. So a lot to talk about. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to it, and let's talk Dodgers baseball. So the Dodgers dropped to 36-28, and because the Arizona Diamondbacks, they've won 5 of their last 7 games. They're at Detroit. Detroit has a losing record. Okay, so because of that, the Dodgers are now 2.5 games behind the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2nd place in the NL West. And I'll tell you what, the Diamondbacks being at Detroit, they could easily sweep that series. Philadelphia, very good offensive team. We saw that last night. And so, hey, this is kind of one of those periods to where you're really just trying to keep your head above water to get back home, where you can get into the schedule. Other than Houston coming up, you have a schedule that is favorable for you here in the near term. And then for the entire rest of the season, the schedule favors the Dodgers as far as that goes. But hey, you don't want to, in this stretch right here, get down 4 games or 4.5 games or whatever it may be and lose these last 2 games. So these next 2 games at Philadelphia are absolutely huge. You have Bobby Miller, the rookie, going on Saturday. He has been absolutely fantastic. As a matter of fact, Bobby Miller has been better than fantastic. He has been basically a number 1 starter. So, hey, whenever you put it all together, and I've said this a couple of times, there are no excuses. You are the Los Angeles Dodgers. You have unlimited resources. So in all scenarios, it's all about the next man up. Hey, what do you need to go acquire? What do you need to pull up from your farm system? The Dodgers have the money to stay competitive no matter what happens. They have the prospect capital to pull up to make sure that they still compete. So, hey, no excuses. The Dodgers, it's World Series or bust every single year for this type of franchise. But having said that, you lose your starting shortstop, Gavin Lux. Julio Urias, your guy who was your ace going into the postseason last year, you lose him for long stretches of time. Okay, the biggest pitching acquisition you make in the offseason, Noah Syndergaard, he doesn't work out for you. Dustin May ends up getting hurt. Okay, and then Michael Grove has struggled. And then Gavin Stone unexpectedly didn't perform the way that almost everybody thought he would. Okay, so when you put all that into the equation, it's really kind of amazing that the Dodgers are still only 2.5 games back of Arizona, and probably still the odds-on favorites. They are, in my opinion, the odds-on favorites to still win the NL West because of the remaining schedule that both teams have left. So it's really pretty incredible, and especially, add on to that guys in the bullpen like Yency Almonte, Alex Vesia, and Phil Bickford, guys in the past, and especially just last year when you're talking about Almonte and Vesia, guys that just recently have been some of the best relief pitchers in the game, not performing the way they did last year. It's been one of those deals to where it just seems like all year long the Dodgers have just been scratching and clawing and fighting and just trying to stay, above water, just trying to keep their head above water until they can get everybody healthy, get roles defined, and get in a group. And that just has not happened. It hasn't happened yet. Last night, again, another one of those frustrating games. Caleb Ferguson, and here's the problem the Dodgers had last night, and Doc hit on this in his post-game talk. Okay, let's say that Caleb Ferguson comes out and he gets to that inning, and then you have Evan Phillips, and then you had NC Almonte. That was the only pitching the Dodgers had left last night. So, hey, what if you go 16, 17 innings last night, and you would have ran out of pitching? You would have been throwing a position player out there to pitch. So, hey, last night, just tough to stomach. The Philadelphia Phillies, I'll tell you what, they're a good lineup. Michael Grove, okay, the thing about him right now is, you see flashes of really good. He'll throw a couple of really good breaking pitches. He'll hit 98 with the fastball. He'll have a really nice strikeout. It'll make some big pitches. And then all of a sudden, he'll also turn around and just, throw 3 or 4 pitches that are just cookies right down the middle that are very hittable. So too many mistakes for Michael Grove. You see the potential. You see the 98 with the arm. You see the big break on the curveball. You see the tight spin on the slider that gets major league outs. But simply put, too many mistakes, too many mistake pitches for Michael Grove right now to be a consistent major league pitcher in that 5th spot. So it'll be interesting to see what the Dodgers do at that spot. Again, the talent is there. Michael Grove is good enough to be a very, very, very effective major league pitcher. And here's another option for him. Okay, with that 98-mile-an-hour fastball, that tight slider, and that curveball, hey, if you bring Michael Grove in, I know they did yesterday the opener to give him a better matchup to start out with, so he didn't have to face the top of the lineup 3 different times. Well, how about if you move Michael Grove to the pen, kind of in that Andre Jackson role from earlier this year and or last year, where, hey, maybe he could extend one time through the lineup and or just go get 3 outs at max on that 98 fastball and throw only to good matchups for him. I think he could be a very effective bullpen arm from that perspective as well. But that doesn't solve, your 5th spot in rotation. That doesn't solve your 4th spot in rotation with Noah Syndergaard, what to do there. And then add on to that Julio Urias. No telling when he's going to be back. Okay, so the Sunday start still up in the air. I've mentioned a couple of times, I think probably right now the best option at the minor league level would be Matt Andriese. I know it's not sexy. I know it's not a name that just makes you get totally fired up and totally excited. Like, hey, yeah, this is the missing piece to the solution to the World Series equation this year. I know you're probably thinking of that whenever I say his name, but hey, he's had over 500 innings of major league experience. He's been the pitcher of the month in the PCL League this year. And then he's also been the pitcher of the week once. So he's had a very good year. He has major league experience, and his ERA is like mid-4s at the major league level. Okay, and at this point, I think if not him, you're looking at somebody like a Landon Knack, who is a 4-pitch strike thrower. I think you're dipping down into your Double-A guys at that point. So from that perspective, I think if you go farm-wise, I think Matt Andriese will be the next guy up, kind of like the Dylan Covey guy. And another aspect to him is that he's DFA'able. Okay, if and when Julio Urias comes back, and or you figure out what you're going to do with one of those spots, or you go make a trade or whatever. Okay, you DFA Matt Andriese like you did Dylan Covey, and then you go on about your business. So hey, that's an option right there, in my opinion, at this moment. Okay, where our feet stand right now, I think that's probably the best option from the farm system. Okay, but who knows? I've said that a couple times. I've been wrong on those equations. And the Dodgers, hey, they usually make the right decisions. Trust me, they're talking about this stuff every day in the war room. And they have the smartest people, in my opinion, in baseball figuring out all these equations. Okay, Caleb Ferguson. I loved what Doc said last night. I loved the tone that he set with Caleb. I love the tone that Doc's setting with this club. Okay, he set a real bottom line the other night. Hey, we're the Dodgers. This is how, this is unacceptable, this kind of thing. And what he was really frustrated with Fergie the other night was that Fergie was blaming the umpires. He was letting the elements around him defeat him. He was letting the elements affect his emotional state. I always talk about, play with emotions, but don't be emotional. The other night, Caleb Ferguson was emotional, and it affected the way he pitched in a very negative manner. Last night, Caleb Ferguson went about his business. He was very businesslike. He did well until he made the one mistake, gave up the walk-off home run. Okay, that's the Caleb Ferguson from a mentality perspective that Dave Roberts expects to see every day. It did not work out every night, but, kind of like Dave said, hey, if he goes out with his stuff is there, and he has that mental approach every night, over the long haul of a season, those performances eventually will turn and work out into his favor. Just didn't last night, and it's magnified by the fact that, hey, second bad performance in a row for him, third walk-off, in this road series, so it's all magnified, but I like the fact that Dave, he went back to last night, hey, this is the Caleb Ferguson, although it didn't work out, that I expect to have every time out. So I'm not worried about Caleb Ferguson. Like Dave said, the stuff is there. The mentality was good last night. Certainly frustrated. Certainly nobody is happy about getting walked off. Nobody is ever happy about failure. Okay, but, hey, when your starter, Michael Grove, didn't have a good night last night, I'm just going to say it point blank, gives up 4 runs in the 4 innings. And then, the worst part of that is it's just taxing on your bullpen. Vic started out Gonzalez, and then you have to use your bullpen to cover 5 innings again. Just makes it really, really tough. And I say this all the time, but when you're having to cover 5 innings with your bullpen, you're bound. The more guys you bring in, you're bound for one guy. The odds go up that one guy won't have his stuff. And in close games, like we've seen, it just takes one bad guy, one bad performance by one of your guys that you brought in to lose the game. So, okay, the Dodgers, hey, it's one of those deals to where it's the whack-a-mole. The bullpen has been just one of those just big mysteries all year. Sometimes they're great, other times they're not. And then your 4th and 5th starting positions you haven't been able to figure out all year. Dustin May gets hurt. Julio Urias gets hurt. Clayton Kershaw's mom passed away, and he struggled in the month of May. Okay, and then your offense has been boom or bust. There's been times where it didn't score. By and large, it's been good all year long. So it's been one of those deals to where it seems like, although we're just in mid-June, it's like you're almost exhausted because it's just been so exhausting just watching this team just try to survive. I will say it again, though. Okay, the one thing this team can hang its hat on, it is gritty. Okay, it didn't lose last night because it didn't fight back. Okay, you get down 4-1 and you have the back-to-back home runs. You fight back. You put yourself in position to go extra innings. You're 1 out away from extra innings. And a great hitter in Kyle Schwarber just ties into one. Okay, sometimes that happens in the game. I know that's not what Dodgers fans want to hear right now. I know Dodgers fans are used to having the best pitching staff in baseball. They're used to having an offense that scores the most amount of runs. They're used to having a comfortable lead in the NL West. They didn't a couple of years ago with the Giants. But, hey, these are all things we are used to. Okay, just settle in. It's going to be a roller coaster ride because, hey, the Dodgers are more mortal this year, and Doc has to be more perfect. Another thing, I think you can see the stress on his face. In the past, he could kind of play the big picture type things and bring guys in and make moves that didn't show up because the Dodgers were like 11 games ahead in the NL West, or they went ahead and won games anyways. Hey, this year with this club, with this bullpen, with the rookies that you're playing, with the starting rotation that you have, that it's in shambles right now, Doc and his moves, it's fun for me because he is having to be perfect to win games. When he's not perfect, okay, it is backfiring on him, and that is a very stressful situation for a manager to be in. So needless to say, I know Doc takes on a lot of criticism, and whenever there's a move that he makes that I don't disagree with, I give my data and statistics to, make the statement of what I don't agree with. But by and large, hey, Doc has a very difficult job. It's going to be an even more difficult job for the remainder of this year than he's had even in the past. So it's going to be fun to watch this roller coaster ride. In some ways, it's a lot funner. It's at least more entertaining because, hey, when you have a 15-game lead and the Dodgers, no matter what they do, are going to win their division and you're just playing the games out, to me, that kind of gets boring. And so in some ways, this year is more entertaining than some of the years in the past. So, hey, Dodgers, again, 2.5 games back, not acceptable. Nobody's going to make excuses for it. The injuries, the situation with your veterans you brought in that haven't necessarily performed like you thought they would. Whatever the situation may be, it's not an excuse. The Dodgers, hey, they need to win the World Series or it's not a successful season. They need to win the NL West or it's not a successful season. So you just have to figure out, okay, what do we have? What do we not have? What do we need to acquire? What do we have to do to reach our goals, which is win the division and put ourselves in position to win a World Series? It's that simple, okay? There is no other alternative. That's what you have to do. Nobody else will be happy or accepting for anything less than that. So I hope you enjoyed our talk on the Dodgers. So time now to move to the minor league system. Again, Oklahoma City won, Tulsa won, Great Lakes won, and then Rancho Cucamonga, they lost to end the nightcap last night. So let's not waste more time. Let's get right to it, and let's take a trip down on the farm. Gavin Stone struggled last night again. He went 4.1 innings and gave up 10 hits and 6 earned runs, and he only had 3 strikeouts last night. So Gavin Stone, hey, I promise you he is a very competitive and extremely talented young man. He will figure this out in one of those ruts right now, and in just one of those, there's ups and downs in baseball. He's certainly in a down right now. He will figure it out. I am totally confident in that. But, hey, Gavin Stone struggled again last night, again, giving up 6 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings. And I think the thing that's the most telling about that is the 10 hits and only 3 strikeouts. That's pretty tough. So, hey, it was a very high-scoring game last night. You're seeing michaelbusch right here, who had 3 hits. He has been absolutely on fire, 9 for 17. He also had a home run last night, did michaelbusch. As a matter of fact, that was his 5th of the season. Oklahoma City scored 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 5 in the fifth. 4 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth, and they scored a 4 spot in top of the ninth to pull away from the El Paso Chihuahuas 14-10. Okay, 5th home run for michaelbusch last night. He's hitting .302 OPS, .917, and he has 9 for his last 17, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, 5 runs scored, and 19 total bases during that span. He played third base again last night. I just wish the Dodgers would figure out how to get michaelbusch up to the major league level and get him daily at bats. I'm telling you, if they did, he would be one of the best offensive players on the team. I am that confident in michaelbusch's hit tool. brysonbrigman had 4 hits last night for AAA Oklahoma City, and he has his average up to .407. Yes, I said brysonbrigman, the young man that the Dodgers picked up in the offseason. Hey, I got a chance to talk to him at Wichita. He was actually with AA Tulsa the next day. That following day on Wednesday, he was with AAA Oklahoma City, and he is doing very well with them. He's played a lot of infield, but he played right field last night. So, hey, I know the right-handed stick. We saw JonnyDeluca get his first major league hit last night, but the right-handed stick in the outfield for the Dodgers, I know that's been something that they've needed. Okay, so hey, maybe brysonbrigman, he's a great athlete. He's hitting, 407 on the year, and he's a good player, a good athlete, very versatile. His OPS is 1041. Who knows? Hey, I'm throwing stuff out there just to see, hey, here's some options. But again, 407 is certainly nothing to sneeze at. So, okay, another right-handed option in the outfield, brysonbrigman, a great night last night for AAA Oklahoma City. Boy, what more can you say about devinmann? He continued his hot streak last night, getting 3 more hits. 3 more hits for devinmann, including 2 home runs. Home runs number 7 and 8. When I talk about him, I always talk about, hey, when he gets hot, hey, there's Wardo talking about a guy that got hot last night. We're going to talk about him here in just a second. But devinmann, I always say when he gets hot, boy, does he get hot. devinmann, check this out. His average is all the way up to .302. His OPS is at .954, and he has 3 hit games just this month. In other words, 3 different games. He's had 3 hits in just this month of June, and he has 4 multi-hits in total this month. And he's 11, check this out, he's 11 for his last 23, 3 home runs, 3 doubles, and 12 RBIs during that time. So, like I say about devinmann, when he gets hot, he gets hot. There's Wardo. Hey, it's been a little bit of a struggle for him this year. The numbers don't look like he's accustomed to having. Usually he's a much higher batting average type guy. Last year he hit a whole bunch of home runs. He hit his 4th home run of the year last year, so The power number's a little bit down. The average is down this year. It's been an adjustment for him to the AAA level. So, hey, Wardo, he has a wonderful young hit tool, wonderful young man. I've got the chance to talk to him on a couple of different occasions. I love the hit tool of this guy. So, hey, he's going to come around, and by the end of the year, the numbers will look just right for him. Okay, so, hey, he went 3 for 4 last night, and the only out that he made was an absolute laser beam to right field that the right fielder went to his left and made a really nice running catch on. So it was almost 4 for 4, but hit 4 balls hard last night. So good to see Wardo, Ryan Ward, getting it going. Bus rolled into El Paso last night. Gusvarland, and boy, it rolled in ready to go. He put on a smoke show last night. Gusvarland did. He hit 97.8, and look, you saw that last pitch, the ride and the run to the arm side of that fastball. Look at that right there. That is a very, very good pitch. 97.8 is what that pitch is. And he's also able to hit that, what he calls that 4-hole, which is to the glove side, the bottom low and away corner, the outside corner to a right-hander. Okay, and he went scoreless in 1.2 innings. He, like I said, he touched as high as 97.8, and he had 3 strikeouts in his 5 outs. So good job last night. The Bus, Gusvarland. It was Friday night in the big town, downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma last night, and it was high drama in Drillville at One Oak Field. Boy, I tell you what, 5-4. It was a great game. The Drillers, they scored 1 run in the second. They took a 3-run lead into the 5th inning, and then Arkansas scored 2 in the top of the 5th to make it 3-2. Tulsa answered to make it 4-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Both teams scored in the 7th, and then Arkansas scored 1 run in the 9th inning to bring it to 5-4. But the Drillers, again, they won the game again last night, 5-4, to move to 36-19. A lot of offense, a lot of good offensive players. We're going to get to them, but the pitcher of the game, no doubt about it, was Braydonfisher. He came in with the bases loaded and nobody out, and in essence, he got out of it with no runs scored. He gave up a fly ball that ended up being a sac fly to right field that luisdiaz could not find in the night sky. So instead of working through the ball and working towards home plate, if he would have been able to do that the runner from third, there's no way with no outs he would have tagged up and came home. But because Diaz couldn't find it right here, look at this right here. He had to back up on the ball, that ball right there. Because he was backing up, that allowed the runner from third base to score. Maybe he would have went anyways, but I don't think he would have to make the second out at home plate. Too many ways to score in that scenario. So, hey, other than that, Braydonfisher, look at that hook that he was dropping last night. He came in and just did great work. Got out of the inning with only that 1 run scored, then went scoreless in the inning after that, and really that was the tide. You know, hey, right there, if you give up a whole bunch of runs, you're not going to be ahead in the game. You probably don't win. So Braydonfisher, in a lot of ways, was the player of the game last night for the AA Tulsa Drillers. So, hey, again, a good win last night for Tulsa. The Drillers had 9 hits and 5 RBIs. Who you're looking at right here is jorbitvivas, who had 2 hits last night for the AA Drillers. But, hey, 9 hits in total for the offense. Okay, and jorbitvivas, he had a good night last night with 2 hits for the Drillers, like I mentioned, and a couple of guys had good games, Austingauthier as well as Jose Ramos. But Vivas had, his 2 hits, and he's hey, the Drillers strung out 9 hits on the night and scored 5 runs. Who you're seeing right here is jorbitvivas. He had 2 hits last night for AA Tulsa. His average on the season now is .305. His OPS is .884, and Vivas now has hits in 3 games in a row. I love that short, compact, but very, very, very powerful left-handed swing of jorbitvivas. He has a good eye, lets the ball get deep, so he tracks the ball very well as well. So, hey, he has hits in 3 games in a row, 7 of his last 8, and he's hitting .424 so far in this month of June. His OPS is .1089 this month as well. Okay, so here's an at-bat live that I took video from behind home plate of jorbitvivas, and I'm telling you, in person, you can just feel the strength. You can feel the bat speed and the power and the short and compactness of his swing. So jorbitvivas, good night last night for Tulsa. Austingauthier had another multi-hit day, which is his 18th of the year. 18 multi-hits for Austingauthier, and it's his 3rd multi-hit day since he is promoted to AA Tulsa. Gauthier is hitting .346 with an OPS combined between both levels on the year of over 1,000. Okay, he stays inside the baseball as well as any hitter in the game of baseball. And I'm showing this video of the video I took. This is not of his at bat last night, but I just wanted to show you how he tracks the ball. And because he hits the ball the other way, he's allowed to let the ball get a little bit deeper, which gives him, just that much longer to read spin and to identify the pitch that is being thrown, plus the location, which really helps him out. So Austingauthier, again, another multi-hit day for the AA Tulsa Drillers. More footage from One Oak Field. Jose Ramos, he had 2 hits last night. Boy, Ramos, I love the fact that, hey, he is turning into a good hitter, not just a guy that's explosive. He's using the middle of the field some. He's using the opposite field some. Okay, and he had 2 hits last night, including his 11th home run of the season, and he had 3 RBIs as well. Ramos has 11 home runs. I talk about it. Ramos needs to be a 20-20 guy every single year. He has 7 stolen bases. The stolen bases need to get up there to around 20. I think the home runs will be fairly simple. I think unless he gets injured, knock on wood, he is going to reach 20 home runs fairly easily. The debate on the 2020 will be whether he gets to 20 stolen bases on the year. We'll see. He's at 7 right now. He also has 30 RBIs, so very explosive. Lots and lots of upside. As a matter of fact, as far as outfielders, I'm not sure there's an outfielder in the system at any level that has more upside than Jose Ramos. Great Lakes had great pitching last night. They blanked the Lake County Captains, and they had timely hitting and a couple of home runs to win 5-0 over the Lake County Captains. Who you're seeing right here is Michaelhobbs, who had a very good game last night for High A Great Lakes. He went scoreless for the 4th outing in a row. Hey, good job, Hobbsy. He has an average against so far this month in June of 143, a whip of just 0.50, and an ERA, of course, of 0. So, hey, the young man who was a 10th round draft pick in the 2021 draft, I say it all the time, I think he was the steal of that 2021 draft. He is more talented than a 10th rounder. He was the all-time saves leader at St. Mary's College, so that tells you he loves the high leverage moments. He's able to keep calm and keep his nerves under control in those situations, and he has good stuff. He's kind of that guy that, he doesn't throw the ball, 100 miles an hour, but he moves the ball very well. He keeps it off the barrel, and he gets a lot of outs. So great job last night. Michaelhobbs, great job for the entire pitching staff for the Great Lakes Loons. So Yoncastro got the start yesterday. Hey, Yoncastro is a name you might go, who's that? Hey, not one of the guys that's on the top 30 prospects list, but boy, I'll tell you what, he's having a really good year. He got the game started off really well yesterday, going 3.2 scoreless. He struck out 3, and his ERA on the year now is just 2.35, okay, and his whip is down around 1. So, hey, Yoncastro doing a tremendous job for High A Great Lakes. Had another really good start yesterday. All right, definitely thought you might want to check this out. Daltonrushing is the catcher right here. Watch this. Castro to Rushing from the knees. Kapow, out. Look at that. That is a dart to second base from the knees. So, hey, we know Daltonrushing can hit. The one question I always get is what type of defensive player is he and what type of arm does he have? Let me rewind that so you can see that one more time. Well, you tell me. Look at this from the knees. Looks pretty good to me. Here it goes to the knees and to second base. Right on time, right on target. I love the way T.Y. Taylor Young just jogs out the field like, you out, okay? And we're going to go hit right now. I love Taylor Young. He has that attitude, that mentality, that dog in him that I really like. Hey, just for fun's sake, let's watch this one more time. Daltonrushing, knees, second base, you out. I talk about chrisnewell all the time, the left-handed version of JonnyDeluca. Home run number 17 already on the year for Newell. You just saw it right there, 17. When I saw that he had 17, I've talked very highly of him. I've said many times that if you're going to build a swing with a young kid, build it in the vein of chrisnewell, because his swing is perfectly balanced. It has the flatness to it, but yet it has, he has the ability to turn that bat with the top hand to match the plane of the pitch to get the ball up in the air as well. Okay, so even having, bragged on him as much as I had this year, when I saw that he had 17 home runs, I did a double take, and I had to check it again and again and again, because I was like, surely 17 home runs. I didn't even realize it had been that good for him. Okay, and he's hitting .299, OPS 1037. He also has 9 stolen bases. So that combination of power and speed for chrisnewell is legit. I keep talking about it. Definite, we talked about this with Jose Ramos. Definite 2020 guy. certainly the potential to do that, okay, and definitely an outlier to be a 30-30 guy on years where he has a little bit of an uptick in production. So chrisnewell, man, definitely put this guy on your radar big time, because I'm telling you, his tools are absolutely legit. Not many people have been hotter than luisdiaz, who hit home run number 3 that you're seeing right here. Diaz has been one of the hottest players in all of baseball, with hits in 13 of his last 14 games, 18 for his last 47. That's a 382 average. So Diaz, hey, who simply put, he got off to a very slow start this year. It didn't take him long to get going, though. Once he got going, he got really hot, and he's been hot as of late. Again, 382 in his last 14 games, 18 for his last 47. The Rancho Cucamonga Quakes dropped a decision yesterday, 6-4 to the Modesto Nuts, to drop to 33-22 on the season. Jared Karros got the start last night. He went 3 innings, gave up 3 runs. So, hey, not the best performance, not the best outing for him, but he has been pitching really good this year. 2.53 ERA on the year for Karros. He had 3 strikeouts last night, gave up 5 hits and 3 earned runs in 3 innings, and David Tiburcio came in as well. So, hey, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes gave up 6 runs offensively last night for the Quakes. Theron Lorenzo had a hit. Dayton Dooney, I should say, had his first home run of the season. Congratulations to him on that. Jesus Scalise had another hit. He was 1 for 4. Nick Biddison was 1 for 4. So was Kenneth Betancourt. And then Dayton Dooney, who had the home run I just mentioned, was 1 for 2. So again, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, you're seeing again Jared Karros right here. The young man who is the son of Eric Karros, who went to UCLA and has a lot of potential. What you're seeing right there, that fastball is about 92, 93. I have had a chance to message him to verify, hey, what's the velo on your stuff? And he said it's around 92, 93, something like that. So the fastball you're seeing right there. And he has the 4-pitch mix. So, and he's very long, and he has the pedigree of Eric Karros. So a lot to like of Jared Karros, although he did give up the 3 runs last night. But again, the Quakes, 33-22 on the season. So there you go. A lot of action. Again, the Dodgers get walked off for the 3rd time in this road series. Very, very disappointing. Down 2.5 games. No excuses, okay? We are the Los Angeles Dodgers. You need to win the NL West. Whatever you have to figure out how to get that done, go ahead and figure that out. Make no excuses. Let's win the NL West. Let's make a run in the playoffs. And, hey, World Series or bust. And when you're the Los Angeles Dodgers, whether you're the manager, you're in the front office, or a fan, that's how it is. I mean, that's just how it is. If you want to be part of the Dodgers, that's how it goes. You either put yourself in position to win a World Series, or, hey, you didn't reach your goals. It's literally that simple. Okay, and then a good night on the farm. So I hope you enjoyed today's show. Hey, our next show will come to you on Monday morning. Again, they play very early on Sunday, so probably wouldn't be able to get out a vid in time really for it to make any sense before that game. So, hey, next vid will be Monday morning. We'll have a lot of good action to get to at that, so hope you tune into that one as well. Just a reminder, too, if you'd like to help Dodgers Daily by donating, we do have a GoFundMe account. If you want to help Dodgers Daily by donating, scroll down to the description, click the link, and it'll take you right to the GoFundMe for Dodgers Daily. Also, don't forget to interact with this video. Click the like button, leave a comment, share it for all your friends, tell all your friends, and then click the notification bell, turn on our notifications. That way Dodgers Daily can keep growing and we can keep doing what we love to do, which is providing videos and content like this in the future. As always, hey, thanks for tuning in, and go Dodgers.